Capricorn, listen carefully, because this message will find you when you least expect it, and it will sound like I'm reading your mind. Before you do anything else, pause, breathe, tap that like button as a sign of agreement and claim this energy into your life right now, because this isn't just another message. It's the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. You're about to step into a divine reversal. The universe has chosen you, not by coincidence, but by divine selection. There's a $500 million energy shift being prepared in your favor. And no, it's not just about money, it's about restoration, vindication, and revelation. You've been through the kind of battles that made even angels stop and whisper your name. Something happened recently that made you question everything. You started to wonder if maybe you were being punished, if maybe your silence meant you were forgotten. But you weren't being forgotten, you were being positioned. You see, God hides his greatest treasures in seasons of obscurity. He makes the world overlook you until the right moment, when one small action, one unexpected opportunity, suddenly exposes your light to the entire world. That's what's happening right now, Capricorn. It reminds me of Oprah Winfrey's story, how she was fired from her first television job because they said she was too emotional. Imagine that. The very thing that got her rejected became the reason she became one of the most powerful voices in the world. That's exactly how your story is unfolding. The very thing that made you misunderstood is what will make you unstoppable. Capricorn, you've been walking through storms that felt endless. People around you can't even imagine the weight you've carried while keeping a smile on your face. You've learned how to celebrate others while secretly bleeding in silence. You've had moments where you cried out for answers, but heaven stayed silent. But silence doesn't mean absence, it means strategy. God was preparing your table in the presence of those who counted you out. Every betrayal you faced was a seed planted for elevation. Every time someone laughed behind your back, heaven recorded their words and turned them into steps on your ladder. You've been the underdog for too long, but this is your divine payback season. The shift that's coming won't make sense to others because they didn't see the prayers you whispered at 3 a.m. They didn't see how you chose faith when fear was crushing you. They didn't see how you gave when you had nothing left to give. Do you remember Joseph from the Bible, the one who was thrown into a pit by his own brothers? They thought they buried him, but they actually planted him. What they meant for evil, God turned into a global calling. That's exactly your story. You've been thrown into pits, rejection, heartbreak, financial struggle, but what others don't realize is that those pits were tunnels leading you straight into purpose. I see it clearly. There's someone watching this who recently lost everything, a job, a friend, or maybe even your sense of peace. You've been staring at your ceiling at night, wondering if your life will ever stabilize again. You've been saying, God, I'm tired. But I need you to understand that your breakdown wasn't the end. It was the moment heaven said, now. Because when everything falls apart, it clears space for divine construction. Capricorn, the money you need, it's already moving. It's in circulation. It's being released through unexpected sources, people who are suddenly thinking about blessing you. You might even receive a random message, a new opportunity, or an unexpected refund. The universe is rearranging itself to deliver what was promised to you long ago. But you must align with the energy of expectancy. You must act as if you already received it. Speak wealth, think wealth, move like wealth. You see, the spiritual law of attraction isn't about wishing, it's about becoming. When you start behaving like the version of yourself that already has what you desire, everything starts to shift. The moment you say, I am ready, heaven starts clearing paths. But here, where most people fail, they give up right before the manifestation arrives. That's why I'm telling you right now, do not stop. Don't second-guess yourself. Don't let delay make you doubt destiny. Because in the unseen, angels are aligning contracts, emails, and conversations that have your name on them. Someone is about to mention you in a room of opportunity. Someone is about to bring your name up in a discussion that changes your financial future forever. Do you know how Tyler Perry became a millionaire? He was living out of his car, rejected, broke, and hopeless. But he didn't stop. He kept writing his plays, and one day, after years of disappointment, the right person showed up. His story flipped overnight. That's how fast your situation can change, Capricorn, overnight. Right now, there are people watching this who feel invisible. You've done everything right. You've prayed, worked, sacrificed, and waited, and you're still asking, when will it be my turn? This is your sign. It's your turn now. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine timing. Every hidden season was preparing your capacity for abundance. You can't receive overflow with a broken vessel. That's why God first had to heal the parts of you that others couldn't see. Remember David in the Bible? He was anointed king but sent back to tend sheep. That's the hardest test of all, being chosen but not yet celebrated, being anointed but ignored. That's where you've been, Capricorn. You've been in the field, working quietly, while others were shining publicly. But that's about to change. Because when it's your time, no one can block your crown. Someone underestimated you recently. They thought you'd never recover from what they did. But what they don't know is that your recovery is going to be so powerful it'll expose their betrayal as your blessing. You'll thank them one day, not for the pain, but for the push. And I know you've been seeing signs, the repeated numbers, the strange dreams, the unexpected coincidences. It's not random, it's confirmation. Your angels have been trying to get your attention because something big is unfolding behind the scenes. You weren't just chosen for success, you were chosen for influence. The kind of influence that breaks generational poverty, that changes bloodlines, that rewrites history. There's a reason you feel different from everyone else. You don't fit in because you weren't meant to. You're the generational bridge between what was and what will be, the curse breaker, the history shifter, the one who turns pain into purpose. Every storm was sculpting your destiny. Every tear was watering your harvest. Do you know how many people doubted Elon Musk when he said he'd send rockets to space? They laughed, but faith always looks foolish until it's fulfilled. And Capricorn, that's how they've looked at you. They thought your dreams were unrealistic, but they didn't realize your vision wasn't human, it was divine. Listen carefully, the next few weeks will bring strange moments of alignment. A name you haven't heard in a long time will resurface. A door you thought was closed will reopen. You'll feel something shifting in your spirit, like a pull, a calling, a whisper saying, it's time. That's the signal that the $500 million shift, spiritually, financially, emotionally, is in motion. Don't ignore the intuition you've been feeling. That sudden urge to declutter your space, change your circle, or start something new, that's not random. The universe removes the unnecessary before it releases the extraordinary. I need you to type in the comments, I am ready, not as an act of routine, but as a declaration of faith, because your agreement is the final key that unlocks manifestation. The act of speaking something in alignment with divine will multiply its power. There's a prophecy unfolding right now around your name. Some of you are born on dates or times that carry sacred patterns. The reason your life has been filled with opposition isn't because you're cursed, it's because you're called. The greater your calling, the heavier the warfare. But here's the mystery. The same energy that tried to break you will soon serve you. Think of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, forgotten by many. But what they didn't realize was that while he sat in a prison cell, history was being rewritten. His isolation became preparation for global leadership. That's how God works. He hides leaders in low places. And that's exactly what's happening to you, Capricorn. You've been hidden not because you were small, but because your light was too bright for premature exposure. You might not see it yet, but the favor around you is magnetic. Doors are going to open not because of who you know, but because heaven recognizes your assignment. The energy of breakthrough is like a vibration moving through your timeline. Everything that was stagnant is being stirred. Every delay is being turned into divine delivery. But here's the twist. Before elevation comes separation. You're about to lose things that don't belong in your next season. People will ghost you, plans will fall apart, and paths will close suddenly. Don't panic. That's just the universe cleaning the room before the miracle walks in. Capricorn, the wealth you're about to step into will not just bless your hands, it'll heal your heart. You won't chase it, it'll chase you. And when it arrives, you'll realize it was never about the money, it was about the mission. The universe doesn't release abundance to the greedy, but to the chosen. And you, Capricorn, have been chosen. And somewhere right now, in a meeting, a conversation, a negotiation, you're being mentioned. Your name is echoing in spaces your feet haven't touched yet. A shift is already happening in your favor. But this revelation is only the beginning of what's being prepared behind the veil. Something far greater than money, more profound than success, is being written into your destiny at this very moment. Capricorn, the shift that began is now entering a new dimension, one that's far deeper than you expected. Right now, your spirit is stirring in ways that feel unfamiliar, as though invisible hands are rearranging your life while you sleep. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and type in the comments, "I receive it," because engaging with this energy solidifies your connection to what's already being released to you. The universe has started aligning people, resources, and opportunities that will make everything you've waited for suddenly appear effortless. There's a story I want to remind you of about a man named Jim Carrey who once wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and dated it for 5 years in the future. Friends laughed. They thought he was delusional. Yet 5 years later, he earned exactly that amount from a single film. Capricorn, your vision, your prayer, your dream, it isn't foolish. It's prophetic. The seeds you planted silently are growing, and soon the fruit will be more than anyone expects. Think of the biblical Joseph once more. He endured years in prison, misunderstood and accused, yet all that suffering positioned him to receive Pharaoh's favor and manage the abundance of an entire nation. Capricorn, every time you felt overlooked, it wasn't rejection, it was preparation. Every person who dismissed you or betrayed you, every job that didn't work out, every opportunity that seemed to vanish, they were all pieces of a larger puzzle, being arranged perfectly so that the moment your breakthrough arrives, it cannot be stolen or delayed. And let me tell you about a woman whose story parallels yours. She spent years trying to launch her own business. Every time she got close to success, something fell apart. Investors pulled out, accounts froze, people who promised support disappeared. It seemed like she was cursed. But one day, at the very moment she was ready to quit, a stranger called her. This stranger was a former client whose life she had touched years earlier without realizing it. He invested in her vision, and overnight, her business multiplied beyond anything she imagined. Capricorn, the universe has already positioned the very person who will deliver your long-awaited blessing. Now pay attention to your environment, the people around you, the sudden changes in schedule, the strange opportunities that appear unexpectedly. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the universe is aligning your reality with your destiny. You might feel disconnected, out of place, or even isolated. That's not punishment. That's strategic isolation. Moses spent 40 years in the desert preparing to lead millions. Elijah fled to the wilderness to hear God's whisper in the silence. You too are in a season where the noise is removed so you can hear direction, so you can respond to the whispers that will change everything. Capricorn, it's time to reconsider the energy you give away. You've been overextending your time, resources, and heart to people who are not aligned with your mission. Spirit says, guard your energy fiercely. Every yes that drains you without return has been a leak in your financial and spiritual reservoir. Boundaries are not selfish, they are sacred. There's a man I know who constantly gave his talents away, always the helper, never the beneficiary. One day, he was advised to redirect his energy. Within months, the same effort that used to go unnoticed now brought massive contracts, wealth, and influence. Your generosity will multiply when it is wisely directed, Capricorn. Have you noticed strange signs in your dreams lately? Numbers, colors, recurring themes. These are not random. Your spiritual blueprint is being activated. Your intuition is sharpening to recognize the exact pathways to wealth, influence, and divine alignment. Even moments of discomfort are coded signals. The universe is pruning distractions, removing what does not belong in your next season. You may lose some people, opportunities, or familiar spaces, but each loss is a strategic clearing to make room for your monumental shift. Remember, the wealth coming to you is not only physical, it's intellectual, spiritual, relational, and generational. You're about to inherit more than just money. You are about to inherit influence, impact, and authority. This is why the delays felt painful, because you had to grow into the weight of your blessing. The universe does not give diamonds to those who cannot handle pressure. Consider Steve Jobs, fired from his own company, publicly humiliated, stripped of position and pride. Yet that very hardship became the launchpad for his greatest innovation and wealth. Capricorn, every setback you experienced was a setup for your greatest season. Your past failures, mistakes, and losses were the training grounds for wisdom, discernment, and strategic action. You may also notice a shift in unexpected places, conversations with old contacts, random job opportunities, and even casual encounters on the street or online. All of these seemingly minor moments are orchestrated divine intersections. They are proof that the universe is already moving behind the scenes on your behalf. One small yes, one message, one connection could pivot your life in a way that seems miraculous, and that miracle is already traveling toward you. Capricorn, you are entering a phase where the energy of manifestation is accelerating exponentially. Think of historical shifts, like the Renaissance, when centuries of knowledge, art, and science suddenly exploded into global transformation. Your shift is similar. Long periods of preparation are culminating into a sudden surge of abundance and influence that will feel overwhelming if you are unprepared. That's why every prayer, every act of faith, every choice you've made to endure is now converging. Your ancestors are watching. Their prayers, their dreams, their sacrifices are being honored through you. There are bloodlines that will never experience poverty again because you remain faithful. You have been chosen to break cycles, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. This is a responsibility and a privilege. Every action, every word, every intention matters more than ever because you are holding the blueprint for generational change. And while this wealth is imminent, it is also nuanced. Not everyone will understand the sudden reversals, the unexpected alliances, or the rapid acceleration of your journey. Much like Esther, who rose from obscurity to royalty, your story is hidden until the perfect moment. The people who doubted you, ignored you, or dismissed you will not only witness your rise, but they will be amazed by the timing, precision, and seemingly impossible nature of your shift. Have you noticed synchronicities? Someone calling just when you were thinking of them, a payment arriving at the exact time you needed it. These are confirmations that your manifestation is already underway. The invisible forces that you cannot yet see are arranging contracts, blessings, and opportunities that align perfectly with your destiny. Even the smallest coincidences are part of a larger orchestration. Capricorn, consider the story of Tyler Perry, living in his car, broke, rejected by the industry, yet continuing to write and create. His perseverance led to the creation of one of the largest media empires in the world. That's the essence of your journey. The struggle is not the blockage, it is the preparation. And your preparation has been meticulous, intentional, and divinely guided. And now the universe is calling you to action, not frantic action, but deliberate, aligned action. Speak affirmations that reflect your future reality. Take steps that honor your calling. Release what no longer serves you. Engage with this message by claiming your blessing aloud, because your spoken agreement is a catalytic key in the law of manifestation. Your enemies, the naysayers, and even those who tried to limit you, they are part of the narrative, but their role is ending. Soon, their interference will become a testimony. Every betrayal will be a blessing. Every closed door will become a hidden portal. And every moment of despair will be remembered as the exact season that prepared you for extraordinary elevation. The energy that has been dormant in you for years is awakening. It is electric, it is potent, and it is ready to flow through channels you didn't even know existed. Your gifts, your ideas, your influence, they are about to be recognized in ways that will feel miraculous because they are aligned with divine timing. Even now, while you sit and hear these words, unseen forces are working on your behalf. Financial shifts, sudden opportunities, unexpected guidance, they are all moving toward you faster than you realize. The alignment is precise, the timing is perfect, and the manifestation is inevitable. And yet there is one final, unseen layer, the one that will reveal itself suddenly, dramatically, and in a way so profound that everything from your past, every struggle, every moment of doubt, will make perfect sense. It's been waiting for this exact moment to be revealed, and when it does, your life will be fundamentally transformed. Capricorn, the moment you've been waiting for is closer than you realize. The air around you feels heavier, more electric, as if unseen hands are rearranging the pieces of your life while you sleep. Right now, pause and type in the comments, "I receive it," because when you engage with this energy, you align yourself with the divine orchestration that is about to unfold. The $500 million shift isn't just about money, it's about restoration, destiny, and influence. Every part of your journey, every hardship, every tear, and every night you whispered prayers into the dark, All of it is converging into a moment of supernatural breakthrough. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That pull, that restless energy, that sudden urge to change direction, to say no to the familiar and yes to the unknown. That's the universe signaling that a divine hand is about to intervene. Look at historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, who faced loss after loss, depression after depression, yet each trial positioned him to lead a nation and reshape history. Capricorn, your trials are not punishment, they are positioning. The very things that tried to hold you down are now the exact forces preparing to lift you higher than ever before. Think about someone like Walt Disney. He was fired for lack of imagination. His first studio went bankrupt, and he faced rejection after rejection. Yet every setback became a setup for something greater. The lesson for you, Capricorn, is that rejection is not the end. It is the universe saying, not this path, but the next one is ready. Your own past failures, losses, and betrayals have been strategic placements. They were seeds planted to create a harvest that will overwhelm you with its abundance. Capricorn, there is a person watching this who has been secretly carrying debt, fear, and doubt, feeling like life will never turn around. You've been working tirelessly, often invisible, doing the right things while watching others rise. But here's the truth, your alignment has already begun. Just like Oprah Winfrey, whose life seemed filled with insurmountable obstacles before her rise, your life is about to pivot in a way that will leave even skeptics speechless. The universe has reserved a special sequence of blessings for you that cannot be interrupted or stolen. Have you noticed the recurring signs, the numbers appearing everywhere, the dreams that feel almost too real, the people or events that cross your path at exactly the right time? These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the spiritual currents of wealth, influence, and legacy are already moving toward you. Your ancestors, the ones who prayed and hoped in silence, are witnessing the exact manifestation of what they fought and dreamed for. This is your divine inheritance, Capricorn, and it is arriving in ways that will redefine not just your life, but your family's generational trajectory. Consider someone like J.K. Rowling, who faced poverty and despair, raising a child alone, yet continued to write stories that would become a billion-dollar empire. The perseverance she displayed, the faith she held despite overwhelming odds, is the very model of how your breakthrough will occur. Capricorn, your next breakthrough will feel sudden, miraculous even, but it is only sudden because you have already been prepared through years of unseen work, spiritual growth, and resilience. Shift is not only financial. It is relational, intellectual, and spiritual. You are about to encounter people who will recognize your worth instantly, partnerships will form effortlessly, and opportunities will appear as if out of thin air. Think of Elon Musk, who faced public ridicule and near bankruptcy multiple times before his visions of space and innovation took flight. The energy that tested you, Capricorn, will now accelerate your rise in ways that seem impossible to those who doubted you. But there's more, and it's subtle yet profound. You may feel certain doors closing suddenly, relationships fading, or paths disappearing that you once thought were permanent. This is not loss, it is divine clearing. Just as the wilderness shaped Moses, Elijah, and Esther before they stepped into their divine roles, your isolation and pruning are preparing you for a season of undeniable authority and manifestation. Every loss, every betrayal, and every moment of invisibility was carefully curated to remove distractions, align timing, and amplify your impact. There's a secret layer of this blessing that most will not understand. It is not simply about money or fame. It is about reclaiming your spiritual authority, stepping into your destiny, and breaking cycles of limitation. This is why the universe is moving in ways that feel dramatic, even overwhelming. Consider Tyler Perry, living out of his car, overlooked, rejected, yet continuing to write and create. His breakthrough did not come from a conventional path. It came from persistence, faith, and unseen divine orchestration. Your story mirrors this principle. Your perseverance has not gone unnoticed, and the unseen labor of your heart is about to be revealed in magnitude. Even now, someone is mentioning your name in spaces you cannot see. Conversations, opportunities, and divine contracts are forming in alignment with your destiny. Like historical shifts after times of destruction, Tokyo, Berlin, and Chicago, they emerged stronger, more prosperous, and rebuilt for greatness. Capricorn, your collapse, your setbacks, and your struggles are the foundation for a sudden, exponential rise. The very things that tried to suppress you will be converted into instruments of your expansion. I need you to understand this. The wealth coming to you is multidimensional. It's not just dollars, it's influence, legacy, creative power, and spiritual alignment. Your blessings are tied to your obedience to divine signals, to the integrity of your intentions, and to your willingness to receive. Speak, declare, and claim your blessing now. The act of agreement, of vocalizing readiness, sets in motion forces that cannot be ignored. Remember, Capricorn, there is a timing to everything. Consider the biblical story of Joseph once more. Elevated from prison to the seat of power over a nation, his rise came when he was fully prepared to manage what had been hidden for him. You are Joseph reincarnated in spirit. Your prison has been invisible, your waiting period necessary. And now, all that you have been prepared for is converging, ready to be revealed with precision, timing, and supernatural confirmation. Pay attention to signs, Capricorn. A message you weren't expecting, a call, an email, a casual conversation. These are markers of your divine timing. Opportunities will appear when you least anticipate, yet exactly when your alignment is perfect. The universe orchestrates blessings with such precision that what feels like coincidence is actually calibration. Your enemies, those who doubted and mocked you, are witnessing the very thing they tried to prevent. Their interference, their doubt, and their ridicule are being turned into the fuel for your elevation. History remembers those who persevered, who remained steadfast despite opposition. Capricorn, your perseverance is about to write a story that will be referenced, remembered, and celebrated. And yet what is about to occur is far beyond the material. Your next shift carries prophetic weight. It is transformational, not just for you, but for those around you and for those who will follow in your footsteps. Generations that come after you will inherit not only wealth, but the legacy of your rise, the blueprint of divine alignment, and the example of faithfulness rewarded. Think of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for decades, isolated, misunderstood, yet he emerged to transform nations. Your hidden seasons have been your preparation for influence on a scale you cannot yet imagine. The same divine patience that shaped Mandela is shaping you, Capricorn. The magnitude of what is coming will be shocking, miraculous, and undeniable. Right now, unseen forces are moving in your favor. Contracts, opportunities, resources, and people are converging. The financial, spiritual, and relational currents are aligning for your elevation. The shift that has been whispered in dreams, hinted at in signs, and felt in the heart is about to become undeniable reality. And yet, the final, most extraordinary layer remains hidden. There is one revelation, one encounter, one confirmation that will arrive suddenly, like lightning striking the earth. It will validate every struggle, every prayer, every moment of faith. The universe has prepared it to arrive at the exact perfect moment, revealing the full magnitude of your blessing in a way so profound that your entire life will be irrevocably changed. And that moment, Capricorn, is closer than you think.